decided to go live on both pages. So I will try and answer questions on both platforms. And I put my headphones in so that I could hear and that you could hear me, and the sound hopefully won't bounce off each other. So if you have any issues hearing, please let me know. My name is Chelsea Evans, and I'm the owner and artist on Apple Blossom Way. And tonight is our first Monday night together. All right, so usually I go live on Wednesdays with Redesign with Prima, Wednesdays mid-morning, and we decided to switch things up. And so I am now going to go live on Monday evenings at 6 p.m. and we will make art and design things together. Hi from Malaysia, so please drop your name, tell me where you're from. Well, you don't have to drop your name, it tells me, but say hello and tell me where you're from. I am here in Utah, about an hour south of Salt Lake, and it is cold and snowy here, so we are warm inside. I realize for you on Instagram, my logo is backwards, it's Apple Blossom Way. I flipped it for Facebook, but that's what it is. That's why I have those backwards letters up, all right? We got Canada in the house, California, sweet, cool. All right, so I like to do different lives. Sometimes I'll do a bigger piece of furniture on a live, and sometimes I'll do smaller things so that I can kind of teach you and show you on a smaller surface what you can take and do on a much larger scale. Any size you want, whether you want to do a small project, medium, or if you want to do like an entire wall or something like that, you can do that as well, all right? So if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. I know Roz is on here on Facebook and she can answer questions. I will answer them. If you're catching the replay, ask a question and I will come back and answer it. And if not, you can always feel free to message me on my page. From New Zealand, hi Amber. Yes, I'm doing really good, thank you. Marfa Island in Florida, cool. All right, so let me show you what we're working with tonight. All right, so I have these 2 signs. They're really big, right? They're probably like 2 by 3 feet in size. And I have them in my bedroom and I really love them. They are, you know, I've had them for a long time. So the first one says, live by the sun. And then the second one says, love by the stars, okay? So these are on either side of my bed in my bedroom, and I really love these. And I had a kind of a gray wall with white raised stenciling, and I recently painted it black. So I have this really bold black wall, and it looks awesome, but these signs are very like stark. They're super bright white now that I've painted it. And so I feel like I need to add something to it so that they're not so like black and white, and it kind of makes it like blend into the wall a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is add a transfer, okay? And I thought about different transfers. What could I use? What would look cool? And I don't want it over the top. I still want it pretty neutral. So I'm going to use the Tropical Paradise transfer, okay? This is a really great transfer because it just has, and I'll show you both here, it just has leaves on it, and that's it. So it's pretty much one color, a little bit of variation in color, has a little bit of white or cream in it, and mostly greens. So I really love that in it. Oh, thanks, Rosanna. I love the new wall too. Yeah, they're fun signs, okay? So this will add just a little bit of something to it, and without going over the top, but it won't make it feel so stark, all right? So I have bohemian vibes in my room. I'm going to show you guys the transfer first before we apply it. It has 3 sheets in the transfer. So this is one of them. You can see they're just those beautiful tropical, kind of like relaxing island vibes. I really, really love this transfer. And then I have the other sheet, whole sheet, okay? And do you see how this matches up? Like this middle one, see how the leaves are like cut off part way? Well, the other transfers match up, and so it's a complete transfer. So I'm actually not going to use the center for this project, but I'll set it aside and I'll use it for something else, because I might need a leaf here or there on something else. So I'll move that aside. But the sides, the top and bottom, they have a finished edge. So I can put the edge that's cut off against part of my sign, and the finished edge will kind of go around the wording, okay? So there's one that I'm going to use. This one I used a little bit of for another project, but I have plenty to add to my sign. So I'm going to use both of these for my signs. And then I thought I would just show you maybe a little bit more some things in my room so you guys can get an idea. So these are two other frames that I did with the redesign transfer. And Roz, if you, I forgot the name of this transfer, but this is one of my favorite transfers. It has lots of different designs in it. I'll have Roz drop the name, and for you on Instagram I'll make sure and tell you which one it is. But my room has a little bit of a tribal feel, a little bit of bohemian feel, blacks, whites, neutrals, okay? So these are in my room. I've used a little bit of the gold wax on there, you can see, so it kind of catches the light. I have some golds, blacks, and neutrals in my room. So that kind of gives you an idea. And I have like plants, some faux plants like this too. So that's kind of what we're going for. All right, so now you can picture it in your mind what my room's like, and now what we're going to do these signs to make everything jive. Okay, so let's start with Live by the Sun. All right, so this one goes on, let's see, this one goes on the left side of the wall when you're looking at it. So I'm going to put, it's the Exotic Borders transfer. Thank you, Roz. So the frames that I just showed you with this cool design on it, this is the Exotic Borders transfer, and it is one of my most favorites. It's awesome. There's so many good pieces in that transfer. All right, so we're going to add the whole sheet, maybe the whole sheet, to this one. So what I did was, while it was hanging on the wall in my bedroom, I actually just took the whole sheet. Anything that's white on this is going to be clear in the background. So if this background wasn't white, if it was colored, then I would have whatever color came behind that transfer, okay? So if this was painted yellow, there would be yellow behind my leaves, all right? Okay, so I just sat that there and I hung it on the wall. That kind of gave me an idea of what it was going to look like, right? Because I wasn't really sure how it was going to look and if I was going to like it. So this is a great way to kind of take a transfer and something you're going to use and kind of tape it on, look at it, and see if you're going to like it before you actually apply it. All right? Okay. So, and I loved it. I thought it was really cool. So I am going to, for those of you that have never seen a transfer, I'll walk you through all the steps. For those of you that have done transfers yourself, just hang tight with me, and I'm going to move you down on Facebook a little bit. Hopefully this will rotate for me. Hold on just a second. Being stubborn. I'll just slide you down a bit so you guys can see better. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. Okay. So I'm going to take the transfer, and you can see it has these edges here. So I want to cut those edges off, and we can have a nice clean edge on our transfer. It's a beautiful transfer. It's one of my favorites, okay? So I'll just cut off the excess. That way I can get right up against the top of my frame here. And we'll cut off the excess here as well. Okay. Oh, I forgot the most important thing I need, but I think I have one. When you apply a transfer, you need a little piece of wood. It's a little stick that the transfer comes with, and it's called a burnishing stick. I like to call it my little fancy tool. This is what your transfer will come with, and this is what you're going to use to apply your transfer, all right? So, I've got one of these. And if you have one and it breaks or something when you're doing your transfer, don't worry about it. You can always use something else. If you're going to use a credit card, just make sure it's not one that you love in case you break it. There we go. Can you hear me better? I think I might need to turn my headphones around on Facebook. Hopefully this will be better. This transfer is called Tropical Paradise. That's the full transfer, I think. I really like it. And I like that it only comes down part way on my sign. It doesn't go all the way to the bottom, and it just takes up a little bit of the room. Now, if I wanted to move it down, you know, more centered, which I think I might want to do, I'm going to cut off my little extras that look like they're cut off. And I'm just going to kind of carefully shape this leaf. Just like that. Okay, and now I have a finished edge on top and on the side here, over here. Ooh, I'm backwards there. And then I can go right in the center. Yeah, I think I like it centered as well. Okay, I didn't realize this, they discontinued this one. Oh, sad. Okay, well, I will see if I can find a retailer who still has some and get you some. But if you don't use this transfer, there's one more transfer I'm going to pull out to show you guys that I know is currently sold. And that is, here it is. This one, and I've got one more to show you. Okay, so this is the Exotic Borders transfer that I was telling you about that's so beautiful on the frames. This one is available. This would look really awesome on frames or on a piece like this. This would also be really beautiful. And this one's called Spring Branches, or Spring Branch. This one would look awesome if instead of the tropical leaves. And I'm going to show it to you, just so you can kind of see. Because this one's really pretty. Okay. See that? This still has a little bit of that bohemian feel. It's got the nice leaves on it. It has those green colors. And this one has a little bit of some kind of light pink florals coming down. If you didn't like the light pink florals, you could always cut those off. Then you just have the leaves. So it's a little bit different, but this transfer would also work really well adding to a sign with words on it. Okay, so there's your substitute that I know Prima carries right now, and that is the Spring Branch transfer. All right, so, but our steps for applying the transfer are still the same, so let's go ahead and get it applied so that you guys can see how to apply a transfer or how I'm going to apply it to this. You just want to make sure the area is nice and clean and it doesn't have any waxy substances on it. I'm going to go ahead and peel it back, and that shows you that the background's just clear, right? And when I have a large piece like this, I always go put one side down and then I like move across. So I just gently push it down with my hand first. Okay, and now it's on there. It's applied on there. And now I can take my tool and make it adhere. Okay, so you need to rub it really well with the burnishing stick to get it to apply to your piece. It takes just a minute to apply it. And you might notice in some spots that it will start to show. Thank you for dropping the link for that one, Roz. It will start to look a little bit lighter. That's how you know that it's sticking to your piece and releasing from the plastic above. Good. I'm going to slowly just peel this back and make sure that everything is adhered on here. So it's 8 p.m. Eastern. So I go live every Monday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So if you're on the East Coast, that's 8 p.m. If you're in California, that is 5 p.m. Okay, and I'm just slowly peeling it back just to make sure that it's totally stuck to my piece. If I have anything that doesn't stick, I can just lay the plastic back down and then go ahead and hit it again with my burnishing tool, and then that will make it stick. If you are interested in this specific transfer and Prima does not have it, let me know and I can follow up with a few retailers and see if they have it in stock. So you can still get this exact one. If not, the spring branch one would be beautiful. The exotic border transfers would be awesome. Just take a look on the site. There's so many good ones. The tribal, or not tribal, it's the folk transfers, folk 1 and folk 2 transfers. Those are really great too, and they have, one of them's black and white and one of them's white, or it's black and one of them's white. They have a little bit different pattern, but they have kind of the same feel. So those would be a great one too. All right, we've almost got this all the way on there. Now I know some of you are going to ask about sealing this transfer. Do you have to seal it? If this was on a piece of furniture, yes, I would 100% seal it. I would use a water-based sealer to seal it. Since it's going on the wall, and I'm probably not going to touch it or anything, I probably won't seal it, but I could seal it with any water-based sealer. Last little pieces on there. Okay, perfect. All right. So now we've got it on there. Now it just adds a little bit. I love it with this neutral wood tone here too. It adds a little bit to the sign, but it doesn't feel like too overdone or too busy. It still has enough white space, but I really like it. I'm going to take my stick and just go over it one more time. And this is just to make sure I don't have any air bubbles or anything like that. I want to make sure the design is nice and smooth. Okay. All right. So now we have one sign done. I live by the sun. All right. So live by the sun. And then the other sign that goes on the other side of the bed is love by the stars. So Prima also has these awesome molds. And they have star molds. So they have a mold that has moon and stars in it. That would be cool if you wanted to pour some molds up and then add some molds and you said like the love by the stars. I think that would be really cool. It'd be kind of cute. So you could do something like that too. Let's look at our exotic borders transfer. This is the one that I showed you on the other frames. Okay, so let me pull this one out. And thanks, Holly. And you can see the stick that came with it. I'm going to show you this. Okay, so there's one of the pages. It has 2 pages in it. Okay, there's one of our pages. And then this is one that I've used a little bit of, but they're really, really long. And then this is the second page. Oh, yes, this is the second page. And I've used part of it, so it is as long as the other one in a new transfer sheet. All right, so this, I could totally use this on one. I could use just part of it. I can cut these up and then I can put them together however I would like. And these would go really well with these signs, like on the sides of them or on other frames on a dresser or like a vase or something like that. You can even put these on lamps, so a lampshade or an actual lamp. I think that would be really super cool. The exotic borders transfer would be awesome on that. It is a winner for sure. All right. Okay, so let's finish up with this one, and then I'll let you go. And then when these are all done, I'll make sure that I take pictures of them on the wall so that you guys can see what it looks like, and then you can see them finished with the transfer on there and what it looks like against the black raised stenciled wall that I have in my room. Okay, so this one, Love by the Stars, we're going to add it over here, and we'll do the same thing we did on the other one. Go ahead and trim it first because this has this edge. I don't have to trim it, I'm just trimming it so I can get it closer to the edge of my saying. And I think next time, I typically just do my lives on Facebook. I think next time I do a live on Facebook and Instagram, I will kind of adjust the cameras so they're more side by side instead of up and down. I didn't realize that it was going to be like, you guys are like cut off down here for Facebook. You're just seeing my chin. But we'll adjust that next time. It's all a learning process, right? When you are trying new things. This is part of it. Okay. So for this one, I think I'm going to cut out this little leaf over here. I feel like it's a little bit too much. Yes, it is. It's let's see. I think it's just MDF, or it's like what's that called? Yeah, like the thin MDF sheets, and then I think she painted it. So I actually purchased this sign years ago from this cute gal who has a little boutique, and I've always loved it. It's been one of my favorites. I can save this leaf and use it on something else, so I'll just set it aside. But it's always been one of my favorites, and I just decided it needed a little sprucing up. So I believe this is just MDF painted white, and then she built the frame around it. So you don't even have to have words too. You can use any of the transfers and just create your own artwork with just the transfer. I think would be really beautiful as well. All right, so let's go ahead and kind of center that one. And then I'm gonna stand it up this time so you guys can all see it. Just make sure it's on there really nice, and then I can apply it. So every transfer is going to have a little halo around it, a little clear halo on the transfer. And as you burnish it, or as you apply it, that halo will kind of go away and fade. So on white, it's really hard to see it, but on some colors you can see it a little bit more. So the two things to get rid of it is to burnish it well. Make sure you rub it really well so it's totally applied. The second thing is when you apply your top coat, your water-based top coat, it's going to seal that, and it's going to help hide that halo as well. Oh, I know. I would love some indoor plants. I have one succulent I put in my Moscow Mule mug, and it is huge. I need to split it apart, but it's lived for years, and it's so beautiful, and I love it, and I can't keep anything else alive. So, and I think it's because succulents don't need much water, so you can kind of forget about them and walk away, and like a month later, you're like, oh, I should water that. And they still keep living. So I think that's a good plant for me to have as far as home-based plants. Yeah, you can add, yeah, that's true. Ross says you could add, the transfers to any artwork you buy from a store that's kind of plain. and make it your own. So that way you're designing it, you know, making it what you want it to be, which is kind of fun. Makes it unique, one of a kind. Oh, oh my goodness. Guys. Whoa. Oh, that was crazy. Let's put that back. Oh, I just put that up. So apparently I need to make sure that's on there really well. That's why we watch lives, right? Because things like that happen and we say silly things, make mistakes. It's kind of fun to watch. It's not always fun to be the one that makes the mistakes, but it makes it feel more real, you know? You just want to feel like you're chilling with somebody, learning from them in real life, and I like that. Blooper, yep. I wish I could have a little blooper reel from all my lives. I mean, I don't know if I'd want to rewatch it, but it might be good fun. It might be kind of funny to watch. Or like behind the scenes, what's really going on with your family, like as your kids are coming, saying they're hungry or whatever, and you're ignoring them or trying to ignore them. All right, we've almost got this all the way on there, and then I'm going to show you guys what they look like side by side. And then tonight when I hang them, or maybe in the morning when the lighting's a little bit better, I will make sure to take a photo, and I will post it on my page, and I will share it on this and the redesign group. Happens to all of us. Yep, it's true. I'm just glad that didn't like fall and hit me or fall on my foot or something. That wouldn't be cool. All right. So this one's taken a minute to kind of apply. It really depends on your surface you're applying it to. So some surfaces, I'm going to set this down and just apply the rest. Some surfaces might apply really easily. When I did, like last week I did a live and I showed applying a transfer to my washer and dryer. It looks so cool. I love them, you guys. They're so cool. I mean, it's like fun to do laundry. I actually did laundry all day yesterday. It was cool. Anyway, if you missed that live, you can catch the replay. But a washer and dryer, the surface on them is very slick, and the transfers just stick to them super easy. It took me, I got half of the transfer done in like, I think it was I had 4 minutes left on my live. So there is some surfaces that make it really easy, and some just take a little bit more elbow grease. So keep that in mind. If you have a surface you've waxed, it's not going to stick. So you either need to remove the wax with mineral spirits and like kind of lightly sand it a little bit, and then it will stick. They will stick over top coats. So if you've already sealed a piece and you decide later you want to add a transfer, you 100% can do that. All right, we got like a leaf and a half, guys. We're almost there. Now, if I decided that I didn't like the bright white with the leaf, I could take glaze and I could go around the edges of it and kind of dirty it up a little bit. I could take wax, the Decor Wax from Redesign with Prima, and I could take probably the gold would be super cool. I could either take it on my finger or on a small brush, and then I could kind of just hit, going backwards here, I could kind of hit the edges of like these leaves here and give just a little bit of a gold highlight. I think that would look really cool. And actually, you guys, why don't we do that? It'll only take a second, and I can just show you with my finger. So let me grab my Decor Wax. It's right here. Okay, so Redesign with Prima has lots of different waxes. This one is vintage gold. It's a really beautiful, I know, Jan, I set it down for just a minute just to finish that last little part, but I was holding it up most of the time. So I had to lay it down for just a second, Joe. These are the Decor Waxes. and I'm going to show you on the stick first. But they're very, very vibrant, and they have a beautiful gold sheen to them. It's really, really pretty. Okay, so I'm going to use just a little bit of this on my finger, and we're just going to hit the edges of those leaves. And actually, I might even use the edge of the stick just to get a sharper wax edge on there. Okay, and then I'll hold it up so you guys can see it. All right, so we're just going to take the edge, and we are just going to kind of lightly hit the edge of the transfer, just to kind of give it some little gold highlights. Okay, I'm going to hold it down here for you guys on Facebook. You guys can see it. Oh, our lighting is not quite bright enough. I'll take a close-up so you guys can see it. But you can take a little bit of gold, you can take whatever color you want. So there's black waxes, there's white, there's lots of different colors, and they have this beautiful shimmer to them. And so you can take it on your finger. If you are waxing a larger surface, you can do it on a brush, which would be really cool. So there are tons of different colors and options if you wanted to add just a little bit to your transfer. But this gold that I'm adding is just very, very subtle. But when the lighting's right in my room, it's going to just kind of highlight those little spots and pick it up, and it will be really, really pretty. All right, so I'll show you both of our pieces here. And so we have our Love by the Stars, okay, and our Live by the Sun. All right, so I'll add a little bit of gold to both. I'll hang them back up. I'll take a picture for you guys, and I will get it posted, and we will plan on seeing you next Monday. I'm going to switch things up with the camera so they're both equal and on the same plane, so it's easy to chat with you guys at the same time. And so join me then, and we will do something cool. All right, see you guys.